El Diablo here, conquering grueling heat. From pole position by Ducati's Pecco Bagnaia. Fabio Quartararo away well too on the factory MR.
Quartararo and Bagnaia, he didn't get such a good launch.
Dreamt of the perfect launch off the line, got up the inside of Bagnaia, toughed it out on the brakes into first, fundamentally key. And from Bagnaia and the latest
shot here, down to turn 12, but he is not close enough to make an early move on Fabio Quartararo. Up the inside of Luca Marini.
Move, trail braking into final corner, then from inch perfect here. Oh, Bagnaia did get through, but coming through was aggressive in front.
A real was open. Pecco Bagnaia was not going to give this up without a fight.
Yeah, and he'll be wary as well, of course, with that medium rear turn. This is the start, really pushed too hard. Hitting pretty dramatically underneath him. Whoa, curve. The spectacular blind entry, turn 11. Ivan Neal stuff from Zarco. He's on the podium.
Picked off. Fabio also passed him earlier on in that lap. You can see
Ducati up the inside of fellow Ducati rider Marini into first corner for 8th place. Back at the front then, up the shoulder cam. Turn 1, a couple of laps to go on the inside advantage we've seen so far in this Grand Prix. Bagnaia at the moment to slip 4 tenths behind.
But he can manage it if he's got a sizable advantage. Quicker than his chasing Ducati rival Bagnaia.
He's already trying to make a key break here, just like wiped out in contra 2 weeks ago by Takanaka Bagnaia. He fluffs his lines again. That is going to be a 4th DNF to winning the title.
Well, they're saying an incident at turn 1, but Pecco Bagnaia, is he a little bit wide? He is a tad wide. He tries to bring around. It's a long way around the corner.
That from underneath him. Maybe just that hard rear tyre. Can't take your eyes off this German Grand Prix. We're only on lap number 5. And we've lost the factory announced they were leaving. But drama in the extreme here in Germany, because Pecco Bagnaia, for the 4th time behind Fabio Quartararo, going to Assen in 7 days. Last 18 months between Fabio Quartararo and Pecco Bagnaia in particular.
He won that early battle on the brakes with back front. We saw Paul Espargaro have an off-throttle high side through the rear. This is on board with Bagnaia.
Just him there. Gently stuck back in through turn number 1. He was well way round the corners. Lewis mentioned that's quite an unusual crash. Most deflating Sunday of his season so far, and he's had a few of those.
1.8, of course. Do not forget, in the closing stages of this Grand Prix, that Quartararo is one of in the closing stages, because Zarco, don't forget, along with the latest Espargaro.
Takes too often, unfortunately, does Pecco Bagnaia to pose a threat to Fabio Quartararo in the World Championship. Oh, that's that crash there. 3rd gear, building speed as you start the Saxon ring with that mercurial Marc Marquez. Their lone representation now in this Grand Prix.
But what a good race Maverick Vinales is having at the moment. Running there, dropping behind him with a long lap penalty. And Vinales is catching his championship challenging.
Yellow flags are out in Sector 3. Then Maverick Vinales, of course, was saved by Aprilia. Of course, after the Saxon, we went straight to Assen, where Maverick Vinales leave coursing through the veins of Fabio Quartararo right now. On course.
Times of the guys in front of him, right in front and right behind. And
then starts lap number 10. 3rd race distance here then in Germany for yesterday.
Yeah, the race pace is already starting to drop off a little bit. There's a battle for 22s. Quartararo and Zarco matching each other for pace.
Will it be hanging in there for those crucial final laps? Then Fabio Quartararo, the latest Espargaro then 1.6 seconds further back. Aprilia, where they've got 2 men fighting for a place in Motogp. Many of high-profile names have been sniffing around that Aprilia ride. Back in the present though, the latest.
Quartararo's clear at the front, clear enough from Johan Zarco, but Zarco is also gaps that he might well be a threat in the closing stage of this Grand Prix, although remember...
With those packed grandstands in the background there as they drop down the hill through the 2nd place, isn't he? MotoGP's perennial bright place. It's been a horror show for our triple winner so far this season, Bastianini. He's
empty track in front of him, and he'll hope to have empty track ahead of him for the next 30s air temperature. That is a real test on the concentration of the reigning world champion, but he's...
Marc Marquez is accustomed to leading the race. Mate, Aleix Espargaro has got to be wary though, of course, of that ballooning front tyre temperature, and the Maverick Vinales may well encounter right now.
For the pace of Zarco or Quartararo up ahead of him, Jack Miller has now taken fit with Miguel Oliveira, teammate to Binder on the factory KTMs, completed.
Going to make a move on Aleix Espargaro. It's going to have to be inch perfect and clean, because he will not, with his teammate Aleix Espargaro, will be picking up 6 away. It's a grueler, this one. The hottest conditions we've had of the weekend so far. Morbidelli again, he's down in 14th place. He's just taken to it.
Will have definitely done it. Zarco closed the gap down to 1.2 seconds.
In 1 lap.
Yeah, Miller on the charge then, on the factory Ducati. Mugello and Barcelona, top speeds here as high as the rear, tapping the power back in the early stages. Bagnaia already out of this Grand Prix.
Mate, understandably, he's not putting a chancy one than the Aprilias.
This is on board then with Paul Espargaro, looking back to Joan Mir, who was just technical director Ken Kawauchi. Background there, Livio Supo of the season. Now then, with Quartararo for the first time, 2 seconds or nearly 2 seconds clear. You just wonder now, having had that clear track to get in a little behind him.
Yeah, we've got a trio of Ducatis battling for 6th position at the moment. Gian Antonio settled down for now, but this, as you say, is Spargo, who crashed in free practice 4 into turn 13, and under the yellow flags, Jack Miller had a crash with the damage.
Yeah, he might have lost the front end there, going nearly a full calendar year after his last Yamaha rostrum in Assen 12 months ago. Up is advantage over Zarco. There is a thoroughly Ducati slipping out of his control down the hill into the first corner. He's absolutely livid to another victory.
Vinales has got a problem, Matt. He's now down to Vinales on the previous lap. It's continuing to halt the Aprilia man. He's now down to 10th.
This moment into turn number 8. Technical problem. I'm just trying to identify there is Jack Miller then dropping down into turn 4. Yeah,
look at him having a good look at the rear of the bike.
I thought I could see him as he got saying get stuck on for Maverick Vinales. That engaged coming through turn number 8. It's pretty forced. The ride-height devices have made these high-tech modes. That's cost Maverick Vinales a podium here in Germany.
Yeah, we saw Brad Binder have a problem not too dissimilar. That hasn't been on the podium since the French Grand Prix, and return to form for Jack Miller on a weekend where he's been making the headlines, of course. He's on the move to Aleix Espargaro. Hold on.
Yeah, potentially here Aleix damage with Quartararo cleared. This is a really good battle further back for 5th place.
Himself up into 10th position. You can just see in the background there.
Binder, he's not scared to get the gloves off. Likewise, Jorge Martin. Those two famous the phase of the Grand Prix where we expect there to be a significant. Can 2022 get any worse for Honda and HRC?
The one that Aleix runs.
Observation, as always, no question, a major tech malfunction has denied Maverick Vinales a second a lap to the runaway race lead. Of course, was the man second to Marc Marquez here 12 months ago. Been a pretty punishing weekend for him.
Back into the 122s, and Marini wanting
the final 5 laps here for Jack Miller. That's a couple of raids he's had on Aleix Espargaro.
The lap before where he was half second quicker, then 4/10s came.
Turns 8 and 9, they drop down to the Waldman curve, 5th gear. Nearly 200 kilometres. He's running away with this World Championship as well, isn't he, right now? So absolutely electric. A mid-122 from the Muni VR46 race.
His ribs, the reason for stopping.
Yeah, thanks for that update then, Simon. It's painful to ride that Honda right now and pay in the hands of these two men. Aleix Espargaro, Marini, that's coming late on with a charge here for the podium.
Yeah, Marini once again.
Potentially a podium finish. Gone 8 and 9. You could just see he's got no stability on the throttle through that fast sequence. Said he wasn't going to let his head get down, he wasn't going to get dejected.
Fabio Quartararo crosses the line. Miller then will lead Aleix Espargaro over the line. He's got to come through because Aleix Espargaro falls back into the clutches of Luca Marini, expecting the final lap and a half.
This is a top ride by the Aussie Jack Miller, isn't it? The 20th recovery, potentially to take a podium finish, having been operating on a completely different level. There's going to be 20 side of Pecca Bagnaia again buckled on the French 1-2 in MotoGP, with Johan Zarco set to make it yet.
Ahead of him, Miller's over Aleix Espargaro. That spurt.
Stunner here from Fabio Quartararo, the world champion. Pick up the Staxer ring. Johan Zarco takes in the MotoGP to salvage his 7th place ahead of Fabio Di Gianantonio, Oliveira and Bastianini. Let's hear the post-race thoughts, the immediate reaction of, I'm sure, delight.